we bring in a man named Alan Amron, an inventor and entrepreneur who's got an amazing idea, and I love the way that football has evolved over the course of the years. And guys, we've talked about how baseball is antiquated and they're afraid to go to instant replay, and even soccer with the World Cup was late on that as well. But football always seems to be ahead of the curve, wanting to get things right, whether it's the challenge calls or certain things that you can do on the field. But Alan, you have sort of an invention here that you're coming up with, and it's not something that we haven't seen before, because we love at home being able to see that first down marker. There's nothing better than a fan being able to know that if your team got the first down or didn't get the first down, that first down marker, I don't know what I would do without it watching a football game at home. And right now, the NFL is battling with the home experience, as the home experience is so good, and they're trying to get people out to the football games if you're not watching a team that's in first place. And you guys are coming up with an idea here that you have a laser on the field for, and you can correct me and explain and expound on this as soon as I'm finishing. You have got a laser on the field, basically, that is in the yardsticks that the refs see, the players see, and the fans can see. Now, it's already been used by the NCAA track and field. The Canadian Football League is implementing this, and you're looking to get this in the NFL. This would really be something, a step up for the experience at the stadium, because you're telling me if I'm a fan in the seats, I can see the first down marker as I'm watching the game at the game through a laser?
Correct, yeah. Right now, everybody that watches football at home is very comfortable knowing where the guys are running and what the line is to beat. In the stadium, when you sit there and watch the game, it's almost like you don't know that. You don't know where he's. You got to look to the sideline like he does, and it's hard for the player, hard for the coaches, hard for the referees, and it's definitely hard for the fans in the stadium to know where the line to beat is.
Where I'm sitting on this too, I grow infuriated on 3rd and 10 when a receiver runs a 9-yard route. Why did he do it? Does he not know where the sticks are? Does he not? And a lot of times you don't. There's 500 people on the sidelines.
So that player that's running that route, that's got that dig route, and they need 9.5 yards to get that first down, he's going to be able to see the laser on the field and know exactly where to plant his foot so he gets that first down, so he doesn't come back to the huddle and his quarterback's pissed off and the coach is pissed off and saying, you know what, you got to get 9.5 yards. You're running an 8-yard route. That makes no sense. Well, this time we'll have no excuse, because not only can we see it as we're watching the game, the refs can see it, the coaches can see it, and the player knows exactly where to get to. Has this been bounced around by you guys with the NFL? Have you heard from the players about it? Where are you in the stages of getting this on an NFL football field?
Well, we've met with the NFL a lot, and they've given us a lot of feedback, and we've changed our equipment and our system following those suggestions. And basically, the NFL really wants to have like a wait-and-see attitude, as they want to see it in another league used. We just showed them that we used it in the NCAA championships in Oregon at the historic Hayward Field. Mm-hmm. We interwove with the athletes. We were able to keep up with the pace. We were able to do it so that we could show the NFL and other leagues that we can be in the mix, if you will. And, you know, you were talking about players running for 9.5 yards. Most of the time you'll see in the footage that a player running for 9.5 yards turns to his right and he's trying to see if he made it. And he didn't. It was over. He can't now turn to the left and go further. Without line, he doesn't have to turn to the right to see the marker. He could run straight ahead, tuck the ball, and protect himself, and run straight ahead and try to get for the first down.
So where did this idea stem from? Was there a play in a game? Did somebody come up to you? Had you been thinking about this all along? Were you sitting at home and then watching the first down marker, then you go to a game and then you're upset because you can't see? And then where did it stem from, and then how did you get the ball rolling?
Exactly. I was at a game after I watched the yellow line on TV and got used to it like everybody else, and I went to a live game after that, and I didn't see the line. And it was funny. Everybody around me said the same thing. Where's the line? I mean, we didn't know it was a graphic on TV. And when I left the game that day, I decided that I had to figure out a way, because basically that's what I did for a living anyway, is create new product for industry. So I came up with a way of how I could produce a line on the field that could be an official line used by the officials, the players could see it, and the fans could have an enhanced fan experience in the stadium.
You know, I'll tell you right now that I think the line that they put on the field for the first down for the home viewer is one of the best inventions in sports history for the fan watching at home. Now,
it's part of football now, too, by the way.
If it goes away, there's going to be just a national riot.
Well, it did the first year. The NFL and the networks decided that in the second year they didn't want to spend the money, and they said no more yellow line. And the fans went nuts, and then they brought it back. So what you're saying is true, and it happened so fast.
And NFL Network, in its preseason games this year, did not use the yellow line. They don't want to pay for it. And I remember watching the game and going, where's the line?
Does that make us really spoiled as fans at home? Because
it should be. We should be.
That's the way I want it.
Of course.
Sure.
You're paying a lot of money for the NFL package. You're paying a lot of money to buy that big screen TV with that high definition. And it looks like you have the equipment and you have the idea and the capability to do this. I'm wondering what's going to get in the way of this, because for the home fan that wants to see this line, the first down line at the game, the referees could certainly use it as help. The players would love to see it, and the coaches. What's going to get in the way of this happening? Because to me, everything makes so much sense.
I know. Well, CBS asked me that question. He says, "Have you had any feedback that told you no? What's it? What's the negatives of it?" And so far, honestly, we haven't had any negatives from it, and I guess that's a good thing. Eventually, somebody will come up with a negative, and we'll have to deal with it. But you got players on the offense that use it for their offensive plays. You got players on the defense that will use it on the defensive plays. The coaches use it for the coaching. And one thing that we didn't realize, college football now is calling us. They want to use it in their practices. They want to be able for the players to know where the line to beat is every play. And so, they should use it in practice.
I mean,
as well.
imagine your receivers know where the line is. So do your defensive backs. And you're going to find out who wants it. You're going to find out who's defending their turf, who's trying to gain turf. I think it can be a great coaching tool.
Now, let me play devil's advocate here. What about the guy that says you're going to put a laser on the field? You know what? That receiver should know exactly where the mark is. He should be able to get to the first down marker. Now you're going to help him out. What do you say to people? I guess most people are going to enjoy this idea, but some people are going to have a rebuttal saying, really, you're going to put a laser on the football field for the players to see and the coaches to see what's next? You're going to, hold their hand and make sure they get to the first down marker. What's your response to that?
Well, Al Michaels said it in a game he called last week that the ball was kicked and the goalpost wasn't high enough for the referees to see whether the ball really made it within the goalpost or not. And Al Michaels said, well, if they had lasers, then you'd be able to see whether it passed over 50 feet above it. Well, you can't stop technology, and if it's going to make the game better and more exciting for the fans and more precise and accurate, why not?
Plus, you can see every line on the field except the first down line,
which is the most important line.
It's not like you're not doing anybody a favor by having a goal line. You have to mark your field, so why not?
Interesting stuff. Alan Amron from First Down Laser. I really hope that this works out for you, because I'll tell you what, I would love to go out to more games, but I think the home experience is so good that it's tough for me to get myself off the couch and in a nice, beautiful, air-conditioned place where the parking is free and my 12-pack costs just as much as one beer there and there's no line for parking and nothing like that. But you put a First Down Laser out there, I'm not saying it's going to take everybody out of the home viewing experience and throw them out on the field, but it would help, and it's practical, and it sounds